Super Sonic, the iconic transformation Sonic obtains after collecting all 7 Chaos Emeralds. As a kid, being the obsessive Sonic fan I was, I always loved the golden transformation. It was striking. The golden fur, the radiant aura, the change of eye color, and the inherent calmness that Sonic obtained when wielding that form. And it was a blatant imitation. I remember feeling betrayed as a kid by our beloved Blue Rodent for ripping off another franchise, but then I got over it in a few days. And throughout the years, I never really engaged with Dragon Ball other than a few basic searches on YouTube of a scene or two, and not being impressed as a kid. The older animation style didn't appeal to my younger self. It felt nothing like the franchise I loved. That is, until I watched Sonic Movie 3. In short, because I intend to cover the film in depth eventually, I'll say I obviously loved it. The highlight being the super fight between Sonic and Shadow, which, although seeming like an obvious matchup, only occurred once before in the entire franchise, being a quick skirmish in Sonic X's Meta-X saga, which was awesome, yet also underwhelming for the only Super v Super fight we had. The fight was quick and non-eventful, in contrast to the movie fight, which had all the cinematic flair you'd expect. I left the theater wishing I had more battles of that scale to watch, so I finally decided to check out the source of these iconic forms. I saw clips from all of Dragon Ball's shows and quickly decided to start with Dragon Ball Super. It looked the most similar to Sonic out of all of them and looked the most modern and full of transformations. I started with the anime and not the movie adaptations, for I wanted a consistent narrative portrayal. And the aftermath? I've watched all of Dragon Ball Z, DBZ Kai, Super, Daima, and all movies Battle of Gods and on. I've also bought and read the entire manga of Z and Super, and consistently play a few of the games. So I wanted to make this video to show why Dragon Ball, with a larger emphasis on Super, has everything we Sonic fans have been wanting in our beloved franchise, and why any Sonic fan who hasn't should check out Dragon Ball if they haven't, so sit back and enjoy. Characters. First, let's discuss character parallels. Goku. Goku is the obvious Sonic counterpart, his personality being upbeat and carefree while also loving adventure and battle, and being obsessed with pushing his limits. He has, I feel, what we've been wanting from Sonic, well at least the pre-Frontiers version of Sonic. He's carefree, yet when it's time for battle, he locks in, and if his friends or family are threatened, will explode with a bone-chilling fury. Something I think we would love to see Sonic do here and there, especially with the emotional flatness he's had for a while. Not as frequently as Goku, for Sonic is a little less aggressive, yet sometimes it would be a fresh addition. I'll talk about transformations later in this video. Vegeta. Vegeta is quite in line with the pre-Frontier Shadow we've seen, and if you watch my last video, you'd imagine I didn't love that version of Shadow. It undermined his origin. Although in Sonic Boom I had a great time with it, since all the characters were either way just flanderized versions of themselves. My point being, I think that the more agitated and aggressive counterpart has great potential in a character designed around it, which Vegeta very much is. He's a very fun character to watch bounce off Goku, and unlike Shadow, it doesn't undermine his past character development. He's more serious and battle-lusted than Goku, and the contrast is very entertaining to watch. Plus he gets his epic no time for games moments Shadow fans will love. Piccolo. Piccolo is the Knuckles of Dragon Ball, the earnest and cool-headed character that acts as a tether to deeper world lore, being a skilled fighter and maybe taking things a little too strictly sometimes. They also both started as an antagonist to the hero, plus they both know the art of aura farming. Trunks. Trunks is silver. Literally just silver. The backstory, personality, and even the voice are literally the same. They both come from a ruined future hoping to fix the past and mend its future. As for my fellow 06 lovers, yes, I'm being genuine, they both round out the super trio, which you'll get to see more of that in Dragon Ball. If you like silver like I do, then you'll definitely love Trunks. These next characters aren't as one-to-one, but I feel there are a few parallels to be found. Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi, I feel, aligns with Amy. They're both strong-minded and loud personalities that everyone feels fear from when they're angry. They're also both confident fighters, and both of their love interests seem to do everything in their power to keep away from them. Krillin. Krillin, I feel, aligns with Tails. They're both a small sidekick who stays loyally by their friend's side, even when the foe they're fighting is a bit above their scale, despite the fear they might be feeling. Villains. Villains in the two franchises have a similar feeling between them. Frieza. Frieza is the most iconic Dragon Ball villain and is the counterpart to the most iconic Sonic villain, Dr. Eggman. Both being genius and cunning rulers of a mechanically advanced empire, they both have a deep understanding of their enemies, and a weirdly friendly in some occasions attitude with their protagonists. They do differ in the sense that Frieza is a formidable foe in combat while Eggman needs a mech to fight directly with Sonic, but otherwise quite similar vibes. Androids. Androids in Dragon Ball are quite similar to various androids in Sonic, starting as antagonists and ending as supporting friends to the heroes, such as 18, 17, 16, and the Gammas, paralleling E102 Gamma, E123 Omega, and Gemerald, with Emerald being an inverse. Vegeta and Piccolo. Vegeta and Piccolo have villain arcs, as their Sonic counterparts do, and although their motivations are different, they're still fun watches and come with an awesome fight scenes. Majin Buu. Now this one is a bit of a stretch, but Majin Buu and Chaos are similar in the sense of both being ancient monsters in containment, being awakened to be controlled by other villains, and eventually betraying said villains and eventually unlock their true form for a final climactic showdown, and both being revealed to not be as bad as we thought. Goku Black. I feel Goku Black is a very similar character to Mephiles the Dark. While having more justified motives, they're both dark doppelgangers with a divine presence to them, and are both extremely high-stake villains, and both with an emphasis on time travel narratives. Transformations. This is the big one, and arguably the most significant thing about Dragon Ball that is appealing to Sonic fans, and the part of it we all wish was incorporated into Sonic stories. We Sonic fans love transformations. Every time Sonic gets a new one, we all lose our minds and scream to see more of it, but we usually never do. I understand why. They've explained they don't want transformation fatigue, which can be a potential problem, but come on. We want to see Sonic scream mid-battle and watch his aura explode with power as he reaches new limits and gets a new design. Imagine if in Frontiers we actually got to use Super Sonic 2 more and actually got to fight as Cyber Sonic. I personally feel we need more of it. I mean, just look at Dragon Ball. This is what we've been wanting, that level of spectacle, and we want forms for other characters that differ in appearance, like Ultra Ego for Vegeta and Beast for Gohan. Imagine Knuckles finally gets a Hyper Knuckles form, or something entirely different, or perhaps Shadow gets an exclusive form that isn't just wings duct taped to his character model. And then we can get more versus battles between these powered up forms. We get training battles between Goku and Vegeta all the time in Dragon Ball. Imagine we got to see more Super v Super fights in Sonic. Well, either way, if that appeals to you, you'll get it in abundance in Dragon Ball Super. As much as I could rant about Dragon Ball all day, I can't truly convey the feeling you'll get by watching it. So if you're intrigued, go check out Dragon Ball. I recommend you start with Super's anime if you're a Sonic fan. A lot of people will say to start with Z or Z-Kai, but I personally think Super will satiate Sonic fans a lot more than Z. And once you're done Super, you'll end up going back and enjoying Z. Either way, thanks for watching, please subscribe, and I'll see you.